how are you all? And I'm back again. This is Mona Lisa Joshi, and this is my talk show. You all know it, Mona Lisa's talk show. And we are already now in our season 2. And today I have a very special guest with me who is also a very good friend and also who is a big time supporter of whatever projects I have brought out from my publishing house. So let me quickly invite Dipti Menon ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
Hi, Mona Lisa. I'm very, very well. Very happy to be here with you. Thank you so much for inviting me.
The pleasure and honor is all mine, and I was looking forward to invite you and talk to you. It was like a long wait, but finally I've got you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So tell me, how was your day?
Oh, my day was wonderful. As you know, I'm part of a school, so the
Okay.
entire day just slips by with children and teachers, and it's so much fun. Keeps us all alive and kicking and young. So
Okay.
my day was wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. And I would love to know that you have started this schooling from the very early age, or you took it up later after I think your mom has retired.
No, my mom will never retire because she's eternally young spirit.
Okay.
She's there to guide all of us. She
Okay.
started the school in '78, and she was
Okay.
all in all for till she still is. But then I took over from her 3 years back,
Okay.
and she still guides us and everything. Everything we do is, it's she's the one who started it all. So she will never retire. But
Okay.
I have taken over from her, and I'm enjoying every moment of it. So I'm
Mhm.
now the executive director. And
Okay.
what is best is being with children. It keeps you young. It keeps you
Mhm.
alive. It keeps you happy.
Absolutely, I agree. So I'll just quickly read out the small info about you because the detailed one is for me to make the questions today. I'm going to read a small bit of it. Dipti Menon ma'am has always loved the written word. She began to write at the age of 10 and was lucky enough to have traveled around the country, being an army kid and later an army wife. Now, this is something interesting. I would love to know that earlier you were an army kid and then you got married into again an army household. So, did you see any difference, or it was like the similar kind of discipline and all?
Oh, it was a world of difference because
Okay.
as an army kid you have all the rules to follow. You're not allowed to run around in the officers mess, and you're
Okay.
supposed to be very respectful. Of course the respect still continues, but as
Hmm.
children we knew exactly what we needed to do. We had to wish everybody, we had to be on our best behavior, and I think we grew up in that kind of atmosphere.
Okay.
So it was a very carefree kind of life.
Hmm.
Loved every moment of it. The moment I turned into an army wife, things
Okay.
changed because now,
Okay.
as a wife and as a lady, you were expected to, to follow all the protocols that are so part of the Indian Army. It was
Hmm.
a beautiful life because you find that people in the army, they respect women. They,
Okay.
hold women up there. So it
Wow.
was a kind, there was only respect. It
Hmm.
is such a beautiful life because you truly feel cared for and wanted for. So it
Okay.
changed because I also had to follow a different set of rules, but I
Hmm.
did it with all my heart. I enjoyed doing it. So there was a whole
Okay.
difference. But yes, finally, loved the army then. I love the army now. In fact, the very first book that I also wrote was called Arms and the Woman, and it
Okay.
was on the Indian Army. It was done by
Mhm.
Rupa Publishers. So
Okay.
that showed my love for the army, and it was
Hmm.
basically my life as an army wife. You
Okay.
know, yeah.
Yeah. So you must have written many anecdotes about your army life and all. And
Oh yeah.
what kind of difference actually do you see in the civilian life and the army life? And if you get the opportunity, would you ever prefer the civilian life or again the army one?
Oh, I think the army life wins hands
Right.
down always. But I think I've spent practically my
Okay.
entire life in the army. Because till my father, I mean, till my father passed away, we were in the army almost. That was almost 15 years. I got married at the age of 22, which is and I think till about 10-15 years back, we were in the army. So I've lived my entire life in the army. I tease my husband saying that I've spent more time in the army than you have. you know? Yeah. But I think civilian life, the difference is that, like I said, that respect that women and that ladies get in the army, it's still there, but not to that extent. You don't feel as cared for as you do when you are within the under the services umbrella. That is a major difference I find. And then this, the sense of discipline and punctuality. Even today, any function you invite us for, we are there about 20 minutes earlier. And
Okay.
for me, it's worse because my mother makes it 20 minutes, my husband makes it 20 minutes, so then it is 40 minutes in all.
40 minutes
And you're
earlier.
sitting there waiting for people to, trickle in. And so I think that is a huge difference. I've still not got used to Indian Standard Time.
Okay. And
You know?
because, okay. And I think you must have been posted to many places as well. So you must have experienced a lot of culture difference, place difference, people. So how did you, cope with it? Like you are settling in one place and suddenly you have to again move on. So how did you manage children, family, everything?
I think it was a learning experience, a fun
Okay.
learning experience. Often we moved out of a place after 11 months, because every
Okay.
time my husband did a course, it was for
Okay.
11 months. So you would kind of settle in and finish. By the time you had unpacked, you were ready to pack again.
Back again. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the longest we've spent in a place was 3 years.
Okay.
But the we have the army actually. It's a very very similar setup across the country. So
Okay.
when you are within that setup, within the cantonment, you really don't feel too much of a difference, except that the towns.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you're in big towns, sometimes you're in small towns. That is the only difference. Uh,
Okay.
as far as the culture went, I think I've been in such beautiful states, like Gujarat, like Punjab, Haryana, and
Okay.
down south, been in places like Wellington.
Wow.
Bangalore, of course, I've done with my father 10 years. So I think in
Hmm.
general, it was that every place had its own to offer. And
Yeah.
I think I got a little of my personality from each place that we went to, which
Interesting.
I just enjoyed being in the army. So much to learn, so much to love, so much to be happy about. So I
Absolutely.
think I picked up a lot, and I didn't find. Yes, my daughter had to. I think she changed 10 schools in 12 years. But
Hmm.
I think army kids, they tend to just adapt themselves
Yeah.
wherever.
Yeah.
You do miss your friends, you do miss your uncles and your aunties and all that. But
Hmm.
finally, I think you do learn to adapt. Makes you a
Hmm.
more adjusting person as well, and easy.
Okay.
You get along with people.
Okay. So now you're finally settled, or are there any chances again to move on
No,
some
no, no,
places?
no. Now we are finally rooted. Come back to our roots, and we are finally rooted in Kerala, Thrissur in Kerala.
And happy being part of the school, and yeah,
Oh yes, happy,
interesting.
very very happy.
I
Yes.
think it's really some amazing journey you have had throughout, being an army wife and then again army kid. Because I think at that point also you must have seen so much of moving away from one place to
Oh
another
yes.
before
Oh yes.
marriage. Yeah.
Oh yes. Absolutely.
So let's talk about your book, Define Destiny, and it is a biography, I think, on
It is
your,
a while.
mother.
Yes.
And you've
Yes.
written it. It's a co-authored book by Kalpana Ramesh. Is she also related to you?
No, Kalpana Ramesh actually is a very very dear friend, and she was also a teacher in school. So what we decided was, there was so much to write about my mother, and one person writing it would have been very monotonous. So
Okay.
what we decided is I would take on the earlier life, the life before my mother started this school. My
Okay.
mother was also a teacher. She's been a teacher everywhere, wherever we were posted, and she's been a dancer and a choreographer and an organizer. So there was a lot to write before she came and settled down in Trishur. So
Okay.
I took over that part. Being a daughter, I thought I would be the one who I know her best, so I could put across her
Hmm.
personality best. And
Yeah.
Kalpana took over from when she began school till the present day. So
Okay.
that is how we divided the book into two.
And how much time did it take for both of you to finish the book? And in between, how did you, merge your ideas? And were there any like meetings that you had to discuss it?
Oh yes, I think when I started the book. When I started the book, I already knew what I had to write. Whereas
Okay.
Kalpana had to talk to a lot of people around,
Hmm.
people, her contemporaries, her teachers, her friends. So we had divided it that way. So I had already started writing. So while I was writing, she was interviewing a lot of people who knew my mother, and we would discuss, of course. In between, we'd say, "Okay, I have reached this far. Where have you reached?" So she'd say, "I have got to this point," and we would merge our ideas, and we would read. Well, I would read what she had written, and vice versa. So I would say, "Okay, that doesn't sound right." So she would change it because I knew, bits of my mother which she didn't know,
Hmm.
and then she would say, "I think, Miss would not have said that at
Okay.
this juncture. So why don't you change that?" So we were working together right through. It took us more than three years to kind of actually sit down, think about what we were writing, and the writing also took quite some time because,
Okay.
as you see, it got about 500 pages. It was a huge
Hmm.
book,
Yeah, it's a
and that
voluminous
was
book.
not all. There was more to
Yeah.
more to be written. We had to cut down,
Okay.
stringently, because I mean, how far can you go in a book?
Yeah.
So we decided to cut it down to 500 pages, and that's how we did it. We just divided the labor of love.
Okay. Wow. And did your mother know that you were both of you were writing this book, or was it a surprise for
Absolutely.
her?
No, 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 absolutely. That is her, and she smiled just like this when she realized that we
Okay.
were writing a book. And in between, she'd say, "You really think people want a book? They would want to know so much about me?" And we would say, "Yes, of course. Whether they want it or not, we are writing it." So
Okay.
there you are.
Okay. So you are saying that your mom opened that school in 78, in the year 78.
1970.
So
Yes.
at that point of time, did she face any challenges or difficulties, like any family pressure that, women don't go outside, like, things like that?
No, from the family, she faced no pressure. Because at that
Okay.
time, that was when my father had just passed. I mean, my father passed away in 79, actually. 78, my father helped her to set up the school.
Okay.
So at that time, everything was fine. The next
Hmm.
year, when he passed away, the challenges that she faced were not from the family, because the family was very proud of her. My
Hmm.
grandparents were alive. My grandfather was also an educationist who had started a school in
Hmm.
another town close by in Kerala. So he was very proud of her, and her parents were also extremely proud. My grandfather was a very well-read person. He loved
Okay.
literature. He loved art. So she had, and the entire family rallied around her. The
Wow.
pressures came from outside.
Outside.
When at that time, this little town of Trishur, which has developed beautifully, at that
Hmm.
time it was more conservative, and a
Yeah.
woman standing up, especially a young widow standing up and wanting to start an English medium school in
Exactly. Yeah.
Kerala, which concentrated at that time mainly on Malayalam medium schools.
Hmm.
That was a huge pressure. People used to, come with placards standing outside and saying, "Oh, she's going to start a daddy mummy school.
Okay.
She's going to thrust English down our throats. And
Hmm.
look at her," that kind of thing. So she did face a lot of pressure, and it took quite a while for people to finally realize that this is not a mummy daddy school.
Yeah.
It was a school where she wanted to create people who create children with personalities who could go and stand out there in the world, any part of the world, and
Hmm.
and speak for themselves and just rule the world.
Okay.
And for that,
Yeah.
English mattered.
Yeah.
So even today, we have a rule in school. We tell our children, please try and talk only in English in school.
Hmm. Hmm.
There's a reason. You need to be fluent. You need to be able to talk. You need to be able to conquer the world.
Yeah.
And as we love our mother tongue, Malayalam, but they said school is the only place where you get to speak in English. So
Okay.
her
So,
principles still carry on.
okay. Otherwise, you teach Malayalam as well in the school?
Yes, yes. Oh, yes. From the LKG onwards, we teach Malayalam.
Okay. And is it an
Malayalam is
ICSE or CBSE board?
an ICSE board, ICSE and ISC.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
So amazing journey. I still haven't got the chance to read the book, but I read this one and the first book in the Shadow series. I think I reviewed it as well. The
Oh,
web
yes, you did. Yes,
the
yes.
Shadow is a recent book. Let's talk about it. How did this idea come to your mind that you want to create a world of shadows and you've written trilogy? I guess 3 books are there.
Four. This is the fourth one.
Okay, this
This
is the fourth. So,
this is
okay,
the fourth one. Yeah, it was a trilogy till this year when this fourth one landed up.
came out.
Yeah, the first one
Okay.
was of course Shadow in the Mirror. That came in
Yeah, I read that.
2016. 2016. My
Okay.
mystical woman, the Shadow in the Mirror.
Yeah,
So
I love the cover.
so do I actually. So do I. And it took us so long to get this cover because
Design
my
on the
publisher,
cover, yeah.
Dipankar Mukherjee, he sent me a lot of covers. He was not happy. I was not happy. And suddenly this came. We have no idea who this is, but
Okay.
her eyes are so mesmeric. The
So,
moment I saw her,
hmm,
I said that she is definitely my shadow in the mirror.
wonderful. And I have to know that how did this first iBook came into generation, into like its form? How did the idea come, and then how much time it took, and also how did you manage to keep on writing the Shadow trilogy, and now you have the fourth book as well. So tell me the journey.
Sure, sure. A Shadow in the Mirror was actually it was a tiny little kernel of an idea, a germ of an idea, and it just took off from there. I don't know. I myself don't know how I wrote it because I only knew that there was this one character whom I wanted to concentrate on,
Hmm.
and the whole thing just flowed and it evolved. I think it took me about 2 years to write it, but
The
the thing
first,
was that it had parallel stories to it. So i
yeah.
i put together a story which I had written earlier along with this because it fit in so beautifully,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
that is how my Shadow in the Mirror got written. And I wanted it to be a thriller. I wanted
Okay.
it to have twists. And
Okay.
the one thing that I'm very happy about is that there's a major twist in the story. It comes in the middle, and not one person who's read it said, "Oh, we knew that was coming."
Yeah.
So I think that
Because
really
it's
gladdens my
believable.
heart,
Yeah.
in Shadow in the Mirror.
Okay.
And so after I'd written that, this was in 2016 and
Hmm.
2020. I had been writing other books in between,
Hmm.
and Dipankar again he said, "Why don't you actually try writing one more shadowy book? Maybe this time you can make it short stories." So I
Okay.
said, okay. And I'd already written a number of short stories over the years.
Hmm.
We always have so many anthologies out there. So I've had
Hmm.
a lot of stories published. So I said, that
Yeah.
sounds lovely. Okay, let's do that. And so that is how Where Shadows Follow came.
Okay.
The second book in, but that is not a print book. It is only an e-book. It has
Okay.
not been turned into a print book yet. So
Okay.
that was my second. And once
Okay.
I wrote that, I kept writing. I didn't stop with those 10 stories. I continued writing. And when I had a few more, then Dipankar suddenly said, "Do you actually have any more stories?" I said, "Yeah, yeah, I have. So there he says, "Then okay, let's go publish that." So then
Okay.
the next was Where Shadows Never Lie.
Okay.
That again was a short story anthology of thriller stories. So that was
Okay.
3 books. I thought, okay, trilogy sounds nice. Okay, we will leave it at
Mhm.
that. And then I came out with the Panchatantra, which is
Yeah.
again an ebook, and my Shakespeare, classic tales from Shakespeare.
Hmm.
And
I
during
would, I
COVID,
would,
yeah,
I would love to talk about that book later once I have
sure,
some questions with this.
sure,
Let's
sure,
talk.
sure, sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. And this Web of Shadows, last year, in fact, it was Dipankar who said, "I have a little idea. I don't know how you're going to write it, but I will give you a gist of an idea. See what you can do with it."
Okay.
And so he gave me just 2 or 3 points there, and I started working on it. I wrote whatever I had to. I sent the whole thing back to him, and he said, "No, this doesn't work. Change it around a little." I changed it around, and he's a hard taskmaster, which I'm happy about because his books, that he knows the market, he knows what sells, and he knows what
Yeah.
is good. So
Hmm.
when I changed it around completely, finally he read it and he said, "Okay, perfect." And that is how on January 1st this year, The Web of Shadows came out. So that is the fourth book in
Okay.
the
So,
series.
so during the COVID also, I guess you must have written the Shadow series,
Oh yes,
because I noticed the one that came in Kindle that it was around COVID only.
yes, yes. 2020, 2021. That was the time when both these books came out. Both the anthologies, thriller anthologies came out. And I think Dipankar at that time pushed all of us, the whole the Readomania team. We brought out about, I think, 8 anthologies during
Oh.
that time. Folk stories, thriller, horror, romance, a whole lot of those. Because he said, you cannot sit idle, all of you. And he just kept pushing, and Readomania got around 8 or 9 anthologies out,
Hmm.
mythology. So it was very, very nice. He kept our brains ticking.
That's
You know.
interesting. Yeah. So let's talk about the Shakespeare book. You have chosen some plays and you have retold them, or you have created them in your way. Like how you have gone about it.
No, I think this was actually Shakespeare has always been a love. Right from when I've done literature, so you know how it is.
Yeah.
Shakespeare is a huge part of every literature student's aspirations.
Yeah.
You can never be
Exactly.
like him, but yes, you can always take nuggets of wisdom from him. So
Mm-hmm.
again, when I started writing Shakespeare, I knew that I had to be true to the story,
Okay.
but I had to make it my own.
Hmm.
So I wrote out, I read the original, and I
Okay.
took out exactly what was required, because it's for basically for young minds, for children. So I
Okay.
took out whatever I wanted, which means I took out the skeleton of the story,
Hmm.
and I wrote it out, and then I added lines from the actual plays,
Okay.
because I wanted children to appreciate the beautiful language as well. So I
Yeah.
think that's the difference in the Shakespeare that I've brought out. Because if you see Charles and Mary Lamb, they
Hmm.
were the first to do this, and they are very, very popular. But they did not use actual lines from the original
Shakespeare.
plays.
Okay.
Yeah. So I decided to do that. And so what happened was, the story, every important part would actually have the lines, and then the story would continue. So it was
Hmm.
like it just carried on. The entire story went by, and by the time the children finished the story, they would have known the story, and they would have also known the important lines. So if they ever want to pursue Shakespeare later,
Hmm.
they
Hmm.
know what are the lines to look out for. It
Okay.
was a lovely process, because I enjoyed doing it. And what was even more beautiful is that the illustrations are all done by my students in school.
Oh
The
wow.
whole,
Okay.
I just gave it to them, and I said, "Do see what you can do," and they came out with such beautiful illustrations.
Okay.
So the entire book got done that way.
So you must be having a great fan following in the school as well, I guess. Many readers.
They do love reading, yes, because we try and encourage. Like right now, reading week is going on in school. 19th
Okay.
of this month to 25th is reading week. So
Yeah.
every day we have
Reading.
activities connected with reading. So right now
Okay.
there's a lot of reading, and then we encourage them to read a lot. We have an award called the Bookworm Award, which is given
Wow.
to a child in every class for the
Hmm.
one who reads the most and understands and puts it across the best.
Okay.
So
Wow.
we do a lot of
Interesting.
activities in school.
That's nice. Yeah, and I'm really wishing I could have been there in your place, and I would have visited every day your school and be,
Uh,
with.
I think I'll give you an open invitation. Come whenever you feel like. Whenever you come down south, please come and visit us, and I will take you to school, and we will take care of you in school.
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's see if I could ever come, because right now my children are like in the crucial year 11th and 12th, so that's
Hmm.
why I've also taken a slow. I am going a bit slow
I
from the
know. I know.
publishing industry and all.
Oh, okay. What have they taken? What streams have they taken?
Yeah, the elder one is doing PCM, and the younger one, the younger child is right now in 10th, so he's just preparing for it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wonderful. So all the best. Really crucial years to both.
Yeah,
No, both of
absolutely.
them. All the best to both of them.
Thank you so much. And let's talk about your book that came on Shiva. I've just forgot the title. I
The
trans something.
The
Yeah,
dance, the dance, the dance and the trance. Yes, the
the
dance and
dance
the
and
trance.
trance.
That was
So
this. That again was a very. It was a very autobiographical book. Yeah, that's what
Okay.
it looks like. It is based on.
Autobiographical? I thought it's a fiction book
It
totally.
is. It is fiction, but
But
it
you
has
put that element.
elements of. Yeah, people who know me and read it
Okay.
will see there are very many elements there. But
So
of
are you
course,
a devoting
it's
plot
totally
fellow?
fiction. It is totally fiction,
Okay.
and it is more of not Shiva so much. It's more of the goddess. We call her the Bhagavati, the goddess down south. We say
Okay.
Bhagavati. Now, what happens is the person on the cover. This person is known as the oracle. We call him the
Okay.
Velchapada, and he
Okay.
is the spreader of light. Now, he's basically like a priest in the temple, and he in the event, he goes into a trance, and they
Okay.
say the goddess gets into him, and then he talks to people, and the
Okay.
goddess is speaking through him. So
Mm-hmm.
that is basically the hero of my
I,
story.
I think that kind of ritual is also, celebrated in North and other parts of the world in only in different ways and different terminologies we, call
Yes,
them.
absolutely. Oh
Like
yes.
even in the hills we have this that gods. They say that the body is possessed by the gods, and we call it as jagar, and
Hmm.
the gods speak through that person.
Yes, exactly the same. Even
Yeah.
in Greek mythology also, you had oracles, where
Yeah.
the Delphic oracles, where the oracles spoke to people, and
Hmm.
they conveyed what the gods had to say. So
Hmm.
something like that. So this book actually, we had our own oracle in our family.
Okay.
Valichapada, when we are like, we come from an old ancestral family, and we
Okay.
had this oracle, and he was a huge powerful man.
Okay.
And the moment when he went into a trance, he was scary, really, really
Hmm.
frightening.
Hmm.
But the moment he was back to normal, he was quite
Hmm.
a
Yeah.
meek
Peaceful and
person.
calm person. Yeah.
Yeah. So in his elements, we were all very scared of him. Though of course he's basically
Okay.
not. He is not scary, but as kids we were very, very scared. So this
Hmm.
idea was in my mind ever since I was very young, and I
Okay.
finally
And
put
you.
it out there, and that is how this book came across. And this is the
Wow.
only book that has been actually published here down south.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I noticed that it's from a different publisher.
Yeah, HNC Publishers. Yeah.
Okay. Anything you want to read from your book? Any book? Then I will have something interesting for you. I have something. It's going to be a rapid fire.
Oh my God, that's scary. That is scary.
So that's going to be fun. I'm telling you, it's fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. What do you want me to read from? Do you want me to read from something that you have already read, or something which
Which I
what do you
haven't
want
read. That would be good.
which you haven't read? Okay.
The trance one, because
The
I'm still
transfer.
about to get that. Yeah.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll read the first chapter. Because what I
Sure.
do in the first chapter is always I try and capture the attention of the reader by doing
Hmm.
something bizarre. So
Okay.
I'll just read this. So this is it's
Sure.
the first chapter is just called the beginning.
Okay.
So this is how it goes. No! Oh no! The piercing shriek cut through the beautiful dawn as the golden rays of the sun peeped over the horizon. The heart-rending cry seemed to go on and on, like a broken melody that refused to stop. Oil-starved windows creaked. Doors were thrown open as the neighbors were jolted into awareness by the cry that struck terror into their very hearts. Oh, Devi, why is she crying so early in the morning? It makes my blood run cold, whispered a woman as she clutched at her already weak heart. By then, the village folk had started running towards the little hut in droves. What could the matter be? A cry that piteous could not herald any good. Each of them was steeling his heart to face whatever lay ahead. The sight that met their eyes was still too dreadful to imagine. The peepal tree, that had always been a source of joy to the household it had sheltered over the years, now bore a precious burden, a body that swung on a thick rope in the cruel wind, wilted as though it had finally given up a grievous fight. As the lookers on gazed at the sight, tears blinding them, the wails from within the house continued, a steady keening that spoke of deep anguish, coupled with an overwhelming sense of guilt that hovered in the air spectre like. Two sturdy young men hurried to cut down the body, placing it gently on the ground on which some concerned neighbor had placed a white sheet. "Oh, Davy, how could you do this to us?" The voice within the house cried out, sounding exhausted now. That was the thought uppermost in the minds of all those gathered there. How could the Devi have allowed something so catastrophic to fall on a family that revered her so, on a family of which she was so intrinsically a part?
That's making me actually, feel like an invitation to quickly go pick this book and start reading.
Thank you.
And listening to your rendition, I can just go on and on the whole day. I can listen to you.
Oh,
I just
thank
love
you
the way
so
you
much.
read and recite. I love it.
Thank you, Mona Lisa. You made my day and my night.
Okay, I'm happy. Happy to know that if you feel that way. So, should we start the rapid fire? Are you ready?
Sure, sure, sure. Absolutely. Why not?
Okay. Which book you are currently reading?
Right now, what am I reading? Oh my god. I've got this. It is called something to do with sisters. I read so many books that. Okay, the book that I just finished reading, in fact, because I had a live yesterday, is called Nava Pashanam.
Okay.
This is by Nitya Neelakantan,
Okay.
and it is a beautiful book. It's very intriguing. It has got mythology, culture, history, and everything to it. It is a beautiful book. So that is what I finished reading day before yesterday.
Okay. Interesting. Who is your favorite author and poet?
Okay, both you, one or two?
Both. One.
One. Okay, favorite
One each.
writer. Favorite writer would be P.G. Woodhouse and
Okay.
Agatha Christie. If you ask for Indian, I will give you that. But you said one, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
favorite poet. Oh my God, that's very, very, very difficult. I think maybe Wordsworth.
Hmm. And okay, so if not a writer, what would have been your way of expression?
You mean what would I have been instead?
Yeah, like to express anything that, like, through your emotions. How would you have
Hmm.
expressed if not a writer? What would you have chosen otherwise?
Maybe I would have gone into advertising and had jingles and little advertising. Those little poems and all that. Maybe that,
Okay.
because I would have loved to go into advertising as well.
Okay. So who do you choose when it comes to Shakespeare or Edgar Allan Poe?
Oh my God, what a difficult choice, because they're so different. I love Shakespeare for his magnitude, and I love Edgar Allan Poe for his horror. So,
Yeah.
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare. Okay. Any short story that has stayed with you till day by which writer?
The Gift of the Magi, O. Henry.
Okay, yeah. Lovely story. I think that won't go away from our
Yes,
childhood, what we have
it's
read.
yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful
Even I
story.
have told this story many times to my
Oh
children when they
yes.
were young. Like now they don't want to, but earlier I have, told them
I
the story
know, I
many
know.
times.
But there's one more. Can I add one more Mona Lisa here?
Yeah.
That's something that not very many people have read of. It's called The Whole Town's Sleeping.
Okay. Yeah, even I
And
haven't heard.
yeah, it is by somebody called Ray Bradbury.
Okay.
Ray Bradbury, and it is such an eerie story. The first time I read it, I couldn't sleep that night. So
Seriously.
I think
Oh.
it's called The Whole Town Sleeping. So please read it. I'm sure you will also enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely. What displeases you the most in today's world?
The writing world, or is it just the world?
Yeah, in general.
In general, I
Yeah.
don't I don't like people who are sly, who come to you and praise you to your face, flatterers, and then talk
Mm-hmm.
ill about you. Because I'm a very
Mm-hmm.
open person, and
Yeah.
most of the time I can make out when somebody is, flattering, or somebody is being, that person is going to be mean about you.
Hmm.
That I don't like. I can't stand that. Dishonesty and your
Yeah.
slyness. Can't stand that.
Okay. What do you do to kill time whenever you have that free kind of time? What do you like to do the most?
Oh, I love watching Netflix
Thank
series
God
on
you said
Netflix.
this. I was looking out for this answer only. Because I am a binge watcher. I love Netflix.
Oh yes, oh yes. I just finished watching Bridgerton completely, the third season also. So something that I enjoy watching. I
Hmm.
can, because reading I do all the time, writing I do all the time,
Hmm.
and everything else I do. But yes, when you just want to let your hair down and sit down, you have a cup of tea and then green tea,
Hmm.
and then you watch something.
Yeah.
Especially when it's a holiday the next day, you can actually sit and watch. So I can watch till midnight also and
Okay.
enjoy doing it. Yeah.
Okay. And the last question is, do you want to disclose anything about your future project? It's totally up to you. If you want to, that's fine. Otherwise, also.
I do have a future project, but no, I think I'm not allowed to speak about it. So the
Okay.
moment I am, you will be the first person to know.
Okay. Sure, sure. We look forward. That would be lovely. And any advice you would like to give to the aspiring or budding authors? I ask this to most of the writers because there's always something new to learn from from writers like you who are so accomplished and experienced. So anything you want to share?
Oh, no. The first thing I want to say is I'm also an aspiring writer, because
Oh,
with every book,
I can't believe that.
with
You are
every
an
book,
acclaimed author and you are such a big personality for me. I've seen you, you're writing blog chatter, you're doing so many books in such a, like short span of time, and we're just thinking we have to write. So hats
thank
off to
you
you.
for saying that. Oh, that's so sweet of you. But I think, every book you write, you can write better. You aspire to write better. So I think, in that way, I am an aspiring writer. I never feel that what I've written is enough. I'm happy for the moment. But then the next thing I would like to do, that's why I try and, go through so many genres, as many, because I've tried my hand at so many. So I enjoy it, but I know that there's something else that there is
Hmm.
out there to explore.
Hmm.
I wouldn't call it advice. My only point is that
Yeah.
I tell my children this also in school. I tell anybody I meet, I say, if you are writing something, make sure that you write something interesting, because if you
Yeah.
don't enjoy your own writing, nobody else is going to enjoy it. I think that
True.
is one thing. Make your writing sparkle, and when you're writing, write with your heart. But when you're editing, edit with your mind, because that editing
Hmm.
is what adds that extra sparkle to your writing. Never
Yeah.
send your first draft out anywhere,
Huh.
because there will be mistakes, and when you read it later, you feel, oh my god, why did I send that?
Hmm.
Don't get into that
Yeah.
rut. I think
Yeah.
only when you're absolutely happy with something, send it out to an editor or somebody who's waiting to. And even if it is one sentence, I think that one
Yeah.
sentence should shine. There
Absolutely.
is a style everybody has. Maintain a style. Don't copy anybody else's style. I think be
Yeah.
original, but also be very methodical when you are editing. I think that's the only thing I would like to say. Make your writing sparkle.
Hmm. That's true. Because we have to love our work first, then only I think we can let it out in the world and have that
Absolutely.
faith that it will be read
Absolutely.
and enjoyed as well.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. And before,
So it was
I just wanted to say one more thing to you.
yes, yes,
I
please.
brought all this out also. I said I have some very beautiful books in my collection.
Okay.
I don't know whether you've seen this.
I think I've seen this.
Chrysanthemum Chronicles.
Okay.
Chrysanthemum Chronicles.
Okay.
Chrysanthemum Chronicles, and of course the latest beauty. I love
Okay.
all these books. I haven't taken out the bigger ones. Monochrome was versus and the
Yeah,
horror
yeah.
anthology. But Mona Lisa, you are a marvel. You bring out the most beautiful books, and your sense of designing is out of the world. Your writing is beautiful. Your sense of designing is also beautiful. I know you're taking a back seat, but after everything, you will come back to doing all this
Yeah.
because you bring out beautiful books.
Thank you so much, ma'am. With your support and all the writers who will again be part of the journey, because I'm taking a small hiatus right now.
I know, I know, I know.
So I'll be, yeah, I'll be looking forward to bring more books out because I love what I do. I enjoy that.
It shows. It shows. You know, like I said, you must always make your work sparkle. You make it sparkle so it appears so easy and so effortless, but we all know how much of effort goes into it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being part of all the journey that we have done together through CC, and also being such a good mentor and friend. I really admire you, and I will also quickly order some of your books. I have to still read, so just forgive me for the delay because I am also occupied with many things. But slowly, I'll
I
surely
know.
read them and review them.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mona Lisa. Thank you for having me. I was looking forward to this. I think, like you, when you started by saying, you say we are good friends. I think that makes all the difference. You know, it is so easy to talk to
Absolutely,
each other when you're friends. You know, so thank you for having said
absolutely.
that, and maybe remain friends forever. Maybe do a lot together, and all the
Yes,
best in everything you do. You know, keep soaring.
sure. Looking forward. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was lovely having you, talking to you, and discussing about your books. And I have to tell you, for the season 2 10th episode is again the celebration when we complete any season that we are doing. 9 episodes are with interviews like authors and poets I interview, and the 10th season is celebration, and I invite all the authors and poets I've interviewed. So it's going to be again fun. So
Oh,
you have
lovely,
to be there.
lovely, lovely. Yeah, I would love to be there. Love to be there.
Okay, thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
ma'am,
Thank
for
you.
joining
Thank you
today.
so
Bye.
much.
Have a great evening. Bye.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.
Bye, ma'am. So I was talking to Dipti Menon, ma'am. She is amazing author. She's an amazing author, truly enterprising. She does so much. She wears so many hats. All her books you can check out on Amazon. Just write books by Dipti Menon. All the books will come down through like a list, and you can choose any one of them. If you want the links, I can drop them in description. And do enjoy this video later. This is me, Mona Lisa Joshi, signing off. Bye. Take care.